अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाह। आज इस वीडियो में हम पढ़ेंगे फर्स्ट कंडीशन। जो दो कंडीशन हमने कल डिस्कस की थी, यानी किस तरह चेंज ऑफ स्टेट ऑफ मैटर हो सकता है, यानी स्टेट ऑफ मैटर हम कैसे इसको चेंज करते हैं, यानी सॉलिड टू लिक्विड, लिक्विड टू गैस। हमने पढ़ा था कल दो we can change we can change the physical state of a substance, physical state of matter we can change, yani solid can be changed into gas, liquid can be changed into gas, and reverse is also possible. इसके लिए दो कंडीशन हमने पढ़े थे. Our first condition is by changing the temperature we can change the state of matter. Number first. The second is by changing the pressure. So these are the two conditions which are by which we can change the state of matter. जो हमने कल पढ़ा था, कल के वीडियो में, can matter change its state? So yes, we can change the state of matter in two ways. Now first जो condition है, that is by changing the temperature. So what is the effect of change of temperature on the state of matter? वही हम पढ़ने जा रही हैं. ठीक. So क्या एक्चुअली जो हमने कल पढ़ा था, अगर हम टेम्परेचर चेंज करेंगे, यानी अगर सॉलिड लेंगे हम, दिस इज द सॉलिड, इसको हम टेम्परेचर, इसका जो हम टेम्परेचर देंगे, हीट करेंगे, इंक्रीज टेम्परेचर करेंगे, ये सॉलिड जो है ये कन्वर्ट हो सकता है लिक्विड में. ए सॉलिड कैन बी कन्वर्ट इनटू लिक्विड बाय इंक्रीजिंग द टेम्परेचर, दैट इज ऑन हीटिंग द सॉलिड. सिमिलरली जो लिक्विड है, अगर इसको भी हम हीट करेंगे, इफ़ वी हीट दिस लिक्विड, इट कैन बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू गैस. So by increasing the temperature we can change the matter from solid to liquid and from liquid to gas. Similarly, reverse is also possible by lowering the temperature of gas. A gas can be converted into liquid and liquid can be converted into solid state. So यही हम पढ़ेंगे what is the effect of change of temperature. So पहला जो हम लेंगे, सपोज हम सॉलिड लेंगे, इसको हीट अप्लाई करेंगे. ठीक. फिर ये इससे क्या होगा वही पढ़ेंगे हम. दैट इज़ हम पहला जो लेंगे, हम पहला पार्ट, सॉलिड, चेंज ऑफ सॉलिड स्टेट फ्रॉम लिक्विड, फ्रॉम सॉलिड लिक्विड, change of state from solid to liquid, यानी सॉलिड लेंगे, इसको हम हीट देंगे, ये लिक्विड में चेंज होगा. दैट प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड व्हाट वी नो मेल्टिंग. यानी आइस लेंगे, हीट देंगे, आइस क्या होगा, मेल्ट. सो आइस इज सॉलिड and it converts into liquid. Water is liquid, so solid ice melts to form liquid. That's this process in which solid is changed into liquid by heating, that is called melting. So melting हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं. melting में क्या होता है एक्चुअली, वही पढ़ेंगे हम. ठीक है. सो सपोज यही हम लेंगे आइस इज सॉलिड, इट इज़ सॉलिड, इसको हम हीट देंगे. लेट्स अप्लाई हीट टू दिस आइस. सो इट इज़ transformed into liquid is water is liquid. The process in which a solid is solid matter, solid substance is solid substance changes into a liquid, is called on heating. On heating is called melting. It's also called fusion. Fusion. It's also called the process in which a solid substance changes into a liquid on heating is called melting, or it's also called fusion. So when ice changes into water on heating, it is called melting. When ice changes into water on heating, it is called melting or fusion of ice. Melting of ice or fusion of ice. So जो melting है, melting of ice that takes place at a fixed temperature, the temperature at which a substance, at which a solid substance is melts and changes into liquid state. That temperature is called melting point. So the temperature at which a solid substance melts and changes into liquid state is called the melting point of that substance. जो ice है, ice is solid. When it melts at 0 degrees Celsius. So 0 degrees Celsius is the melting point of ice. 0 degrees Celsius is the melting point of ice. So at melting point yani means at 0 degrees Celsius, ice changes into liquid. Water. Ice changes into water. So every solid substance has a fixed melting point, and it is different for different substances. Melting point is different for different substances. So melting point of ice, what is the melting point of ice? That is 0 degrees Celsius. Similarly, अगर हम लेंगे example wax का, its melting point is 60 to 63 degrees Celsius. And similarly, melting point of iron is that is 1535 degrees Celsius. So different substances have different melting points. So melting point of substance, जितना जो melting point होगा इतना जो substance hard हो सकता है, यानी जो interparticle forces जो हैं वो strong होंगे. That's why जो iron है, that is hard, it's tough to melt, यानी it has high melting point. It means that particles are strongly bound, they have enough force of attraction in case the particle is in iron. Okay? Whereas the particles in ice are not so strongly bound. That is why they have low melting point than iron and wax. So melting point जो है, melting point of a substance, it is measure of the force of attraction, forces of attraction between the particles, यानी atoms or molecules. जितना ज़्यादा melting point होगा, higher is the melting point. जितना ज़्यादा melting point होगा उतना क्या होंगे, जो higher the melting point, greater जो है will be the force of attraction. Higher melting point जितना ज़्यादा होगा, higher melting point means greater force of attraction between the particles, greater forces of attraction between the particles. It means that जो iron जो है, the melting point of iron is this much, 1535 degree Celsius, which means that the force of attraction between the particle of iron is very very strong, very very strong. When a substance is ये भी एक पॉइंट है जो हम हीट दे हैं. व्हेन सबस्टेंस सॉलिड सबस्टेंस लेंगे हम व्हेन इट इज़ हीटेड. दिस इज सॉलिड सबस्टेंस व्हेन इट इज़ हीटेड. एक्चुअली क्या होता है, जो हीट एनर्जी होती हैं उससे ये पार्टिकल गेन करते हैं. द पार्टिकल्स गेन दिस हीट एनर्जी विच वी सप्लाई. ये वेस्ट नहीं होती हैं, ये क्या होती हैं, जो पार्टिकल्स हैं, पार्टिकल सॉलिड, दे गेन दिस एनर्जी, दे अब्जॉर्ब दिस एनर्जी, हीट एनर्जी. इससे क्या होता है, द पार्टिकल्स जो हैं, जो पार्टिकल एक्चुअली पहले सॉलिड में हैं, दे आर वाइब्रेटिंग about their positions. When they gain enough energy, they start vibrating vigorously. They start vibrating vigorously. यानी their vibration increases. Intensity, जो frequency है उनकी, जो वाइब्रेशन की, वो क्या होगी, इंक्रीज होगी. जितना वो एब्जॉर्ब करेंगे एनर्जी, उतना वो क्या होगी, जो वाइब्रेशन पार्टिकल्स हैं, दैट विल इंक्रीज. जब हम और ज़्यादा हीट देंगे यानी एट मेल्टिंग पॉइंट ऑफ सब्सटेंस. हमने अभी डिस्कस किया था, डिफरेंट सब्सटेंसेस हैव डिफरेंट मेल्टिंग पॉइंट्स. एट मेल्टिंग पॉइंट ऑफ द सब्सटेंस, एट मेल्टिंग पॉइंट टेम्परेचर ऑफ द सब्सटेंस, जो पार्टिकल्स हैं, they have sufficient kinetic energy, they gain this energy, they have sufficient kinetic energy. As a result, जो है, they leave their fixed positions. They overcome the strong force of attraction, which holds them. They simply they leave their fixed positions. They overcome this strong force of attraction, and break. They break. As a result, they follow. And when they follow, it means that they have changed their state. So from solid, they are changed into liquid state. The energy which we supply is gained by these particles. A stage is reached, that means at melting point they leave their fixed positions, they break their strong force of attraction, and they leave their fixed position, they start flow. It means that they have changed their state from solid to liquid. So they melt. That is called melting. So melting में क्या होता है, एक्चुअली जो पार्टिकल्स enough energy gain करते हैं, in the form of heat which we supply externally. So this is the reason melting में क्या होता है, जब change of state होता है, इसमें क्या होता है, particles में क्या होता है, particles. ठीक. So हमने जो पढ़ा था, what do you mean by melting? The process in which a solid substance changes into a liquid. Solid substance changes into a liquid on heating is called melting, or it's also called fusion. And the temperature जो हमने पढ़ा था, what is the melting point? Melting point is the temperature of the substance. The temperature at which a particular substance, solid substance, melts and changes into liquid at atmospheric pressure. At atmospheric pressure is called a melting point. So what is the melting point? Melting point is the temperature at which a solid substance melts and changes into liquid. At atmospheric pressure is called a melting point substance. Melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. जो हमने what wax is 63 degrees Celsius, and that of iron is 1535 degrees Celsius. Melting point actually gives information about the force of attraction between the particles between the particles of the substance. Higher is the melting point, higher is the force of attraction between the particles, and and higher temperature we have to supply in order to change its state. यानी जब आयरन को हमें करना है मेल्ट करने, इसके लिए ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर अप्लाई करना है, आयस के लिए कम टेम्परेचर अप्लाई करना है. ठीक. And this is about melting. Thanks.